Sisanie.
All right, well, it is the day before Valentine's Day. I'm actually here with Marni Battista, who you're kind of just the expert. I feel like you're the expert about everything at this point. Why don't you give us a little background on you, essentially?
Absolutely. So what I do is I work with women who have it together, you know, in all areas of their life. And then it comes to love, relationships, marriage. They're like totally, completely incapable, rendered useless, hopeless, powerless. And I help them figure out what to do so that they can have amazing love relationships in their lives. Because it's annoying when you're good at everything except the one thing that's the most important.
Why do you think that happens to us?
Well, there's a couple things. One is, you know, well, all people like to be in control, but especially, you know, smart women who make things happen. And so when there's another human involved, you're not in control. And then you sort of take in all your childhood issues and your random, like, does he like me? Does he love me? Am I enough? And you literally don't know what to say.
This happened to me. Well, I've been married for 5 years now. I've been with my husband for almost 10.
Okay.
But when I met him, I was 25, on top of the world. I was doing my own midday show on Kiss FM in Los Angeles. I was like an independent woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? I owned my own condo. I had all this stuff. And it was a very me mentality. Like, it was, I wouldn't say that it was like all about me, but it was all about me.
And you're safe, right? You're safe in your little condo.
Exactly. And then when I invited this new man into my world, it's like anything he tried to tell me, or just like, well, maybe we shouldn't stay out that much later there. Maybe it's time to go home, or maybe we should do this. And I was like, what? Like, nobody's ever told me what to do ever. And we had like butted heads. It was really tough at the beginning, but I had to like compromise eventually. And
well, you do, and you have to really understand that you can still have me in a we.
Yes.
Which is, you know, scary.
With Valentine's Day being tomorrow, I feel like a lot of women, single or not, have these expectations of what this day in February is. Those are my children in the background if you hear them. This is literally my house and we're sitting on my sofa. So what are like these, how can people manage these set expectations when it comes to Valentine's Day?
Well, so first of all, I believe that if you got a room of like 20 smart men, you know, together, they would be like hating on Valentine's Day. Right, because it's this thing, they know there's like pressure.
Right, like
they
is it even a real holiday?
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, they thought about it 2 days ago, the restaurants are booked. You know, it's like a man's worst nightmare. So first of all, number one is have compassion for your man. Okay. He wants a manual on how to make you happy.
True.
So the most important thing you can do is communicate what would make you happy. Because what would make you happy, Sisanie, might be just like getting a babysitter, right? And like he orders the food and like he like, you know, runs you a bath. Yeah. And for someone else, it might be like a super fancy restaurant, right? So the one thing is you want to know what it is that really makes you feel happy and loved on Valentine's Day, because that's really what it's about. And then number two is you articulate it so that the man does not have to play a damn guessing game.
Okay.
Because that's hell for him and you.
So how do you articulate it without like I don't want to tell him exactly what to get me. I don't want to tell him that I do want flowers, but how do you articulate that without really saying it?
Okay, so first of all, this is crazy, but saying it is okay. It's the story you have made up in your mind that if you tell him, it's less meaningful.
Okay.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you can say it something like this. What makes me feel really special on Valentine's Day is like you writing a card for me. And I'd love if you pick the place for dinner, and my favorite restaurant is Nick's. And I want to get back early enough so that we still have time to fool around.
I mean, you literally like mapped the whole thing out.
Right?
But then you're still going to enjoy it as it's happening.
Totally, right? Because you got the card. You're not like, oh my God, his assistant got this card. And he just wrote, love you, babe, XO. Like, is that his handwriting? You know? Yeah. Like, and you go there and you have a meal and you got back early and the kids are, you know, in bed. And so you get the way you want it. And I swear to God, like if a guy knows how to make you happy, that's literally, that's all they really want. They want the manual.
Simple, right?
We're so, you know, like it's easy to make us happy.
Yeah.
Right? So if you just do it.
As long as you get it right, it's easy to make it
well,
happy.
exactly. But so don't put your guy in the position of having to guess. It is a story you have going on that it's less romantic if you tell him what to do. You want to give him directions. Men like goals. They like achieving things. So make it really simple and just let him know.
I feel like this is very simple to do when you're in a relationship like that. Maybe you've been together for a few years or whatnot. How would you say a new, fresh relationship manages around this? Because I feel like if you're like on the second date, third date, going into Valentine's Day, you can't just be like, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. So how do we adjust?
Okay, so first of all, no matter what you do, you don't do that.
But that's how I can speak to my husband. No, I'm just kidding.
No, me too. But anyway, we've been together with our men one. Okay. Yeah. So if you're on the first, second, or third date, so the thing is, you want to, if he asks you out for Valentine's Day, you want to just let him know generally what your expectation is, and you want to appreciate him for actually making a plan.
Got it.
If he's asked you out in advance. Now here's the thing. If he hasn't, so if you're sitting there and you're like,
yeah, that's
right, okay, like why didn't he ask me out yet? You didn't communicate it, you didn't talk about it. Men have all these stories going on about Valentine's Day, so he might not be asking you out because he's not ready to make it mean something. So take the pressure off him. Let Valentine's Day just be February 14th. If you don't have a date yet, do something for yourself. Don't make up a story what it means or it doesn't mean, and just carry on and pretend this day never existed.
I love it, and thank you so much for coming and shedding your knowledge on all of us, because we are clueless when it comes to this stuff. Where can everybody find you if they want to like Google you, search you, get like...
So you can get lots of tips and advice about everything on datingwithdignity.com, and go to iTunes, listen to our show, The Dating Den, and subscribe.
There you go.